This is Omnipresence, a fast-paced movement shooter. Or is it? Well, I've been thinking about it for a few days now, and I've tried a lot of different things, which brought me to a conclusion that is going to make my game so much better. But first, you'll need to know what I've been working on. This is what my game looked like about 2 weeks ago, and a lot has changed, especially in the direction I'm going to take this game. But this will only be a game if I hit my wishlist goal of 4,000, so make sure to wishlist it on Steam. The first thing I did was take on board the suggestion NSKA had about the reward if you switch late. Basically, when you switch into a robot in the last second or two, I want to give the player a reward for taking the risk. And he suggested I should make the robot explode, and I really love this idea, so I quickly threw together the most mediocre explosion you will ever see in your life. This does 70% of your or any nearby enemy's health, but it also gives you a huge speed boost. Now, start paying very close attention, because this is where my realization all started. All you guys were commenting some absolutely awesome movement suggestions in my last video, so thank you. This meant that I wanted to remake the player controller to better suit the vision of this fast-paced movement with all the cool features like wall running, a dash, crouching, sliding, jumping, double jumping, and even more. I opened a new project and I added a bean. He started to fly away. I didn't like this, so I told him to stay on the ground. I didn't learn my lesson from the last time, and I thought I should make the movement even more physics-based than before. And it went as well as you'd expect. Crouching put you through the floor, you could reach speeds of 40+ meters per second, slide with zero friction, and more. Once I was happy with it, I added it to my game, and it really didn't like that. I first got an orbital view of the map, and then my arms went through my head. Then my head started being able to turn 360 degrees, and then I couldn't move my head. Then my entire body rotated on its side, and I'm not even kidding, my game actually did this for some reason, which perfectly sums up how I felt in the moment. I then got this crackhead movement with zero friction, no gravity, and for some reason I was even bouncing. And I had it working. The movement felt much more like Titanfall and better suited for the movement shooter idea that I had in my head. Also, you guys voted in the comments for the name of the main mechanic, and OmniSwitch won by a landslide, with 0 bytes, the person who suggested the other one, System Override, even voting for this name. So thank you everyone who helped with that, especially Gio who came up with this name. He does devlogs by the way, so go check him out. Don't even get me started on this suggestion. Then Takuru Reed suggested I should add Joe Biden, so I quickly added that, and he'll be hiding in the map somewhere during this video, so comment down below if you found him. I then moved on to some level design because I have the attention span of a dead goldfish. I first came up with this, kinda close quarters but with some verticality. It looked pretty cool, and obviously all the grey and orange boxes are not placeholder and will definitely be in the final game. As you might notice, I am bunny hopping all around the place and these poor enemies cannot seem to hit me. This is where my very important realization hit me. I realized that 85.2% of you guys are not subscribed. I realized that a game Omnipresence, even as stated in the name, is about the OmniSwitch mechanic. That is the one thing that sets it apart from every other shooter, that is unique, and I need to play into that strength. But this whole time, I've been focusing on other stuff too much, especially movement. For example, I realized that more movement I have, the less I felt the need to OmniSwitch during the fight, which is exactly the opposite of what I want from my game. I was looking back to old gameplay, wondering why it looked so much more fun, and now I know. I've been trying too hard to be Titanfall or Ultra Kill, and I didn't focus on the true identity of my game, the actual main mechanic. I was playing into the strengths of other shooters instead of my own. That's like if you needed to write an English essay, so you asked your friend to send you his Spanish homework to copy. Okay, well maybe 1% of my viewers will understand what I just said. Comment down below if you did. Those games got big for doing their own thing, so that's where I need to take my game as well. It needs to be more unique, so all the cool movement needs to go, or at least be put somewhere else. Here's what I think. The movement is great, but it has to tie in with the main mechanic in some way or another. So I'll make Omni-switching give you maybe a double jump or one wall run or one speed boost, incentivizing the Omni-switch. Some of you suggested a dash, but I quickly realized that Omni-switch is effectively a dash, so if you want a dash, you'll have to use the main mechanic. This is my new design philosophy. If it doesn't tie into the main mechanic at all, it's not making it into the game. I know it might disappoint some of you, but I think this realization saved my game from being another drop in the ocean, hopefully paving its own path. Just like you should pave your path to the wishlist button. I kept working on the level, and every time I played I'd always be taking notes, so I'll share some of those with you. I noticed that the best fights are with 1 to 3 enemies that are not too close to each other or the player. Smaller, less cluttered rooms with a clear direction to go in tend to be more fun to fight in. So with that in mind, I sectioned off the level and really made sure that you know exactly where to go from the moment you walk into the room. I also spaced the enemies out so that you'll never be overrun by them, and this made my game at least 47.35% more fun. Now, I haven't had much time to work on the melee system yet, so just don't roast me in the comments. I know some of you were asking for it, so I'll just show you what I have so far. I made this amazing sword model, and if you go up to an enemy, it will, delete them from existence. So yeah, I definitely have my work cut out for me. Pun not intended. I then wanted to finally add a new weapon to my game, so I made the CZ75 Auto in Blender, and I made this amazing texture in Substance Painter. This is definitely some of my best work. I added it to my game and I accidentally gave it revolver recoil. I made it be slightly weaker than the MP9 but shoot faster to make up for the damage loss. I unfortunately didn't get around to making a new reload animation, so I'll make up for it by adding a hot dog that Phantom Thief was asking for. AR recommended I should do something more creative than a generic subscribe button for the corner of my videos, so I drew my own in MS Paint and added my own flair to it. I added a small don't above it to do some reverse psychology, because the don't in the image will cancel out the don't in the brain of anyone who doesn't want to subscribe, statistically making it more likely they sub. I should become a mathematician. It looks much better now, and I have no doubt that it'll make me cross 1,000 subs in no time. I then noticed that in a fast-paced game you will have time to lean into your monitor and figure out just how much ammo an enemy has in their gun as you fly through the air with 1 second left on your timer, so I just removed it. I also added the circle in the middle of the screen that gradually gets bigger, more red, and more, circular, the closer the antivirus is to killing you. This was suggested by Arsh Beats. It's Nime asked for the robot model, but I still don't have a final design. I've prototyped this out, but I really don't like it, so I'll be working on it more in the coming weeks. Sam Anderson, I'll definitely be adding a sniper soon. I was thinking of Barrett M82A1 just as a massive fuck you gun. Sorry, the flamethrower man, that was a complete lie, though I will be working on it more soon. And Vulcan Chill, I'm probably going to completely rethink how I'm doing the AI soon, as I've been experimenting with the enemies not moving at all or moving very little, and it kinda seems like a fun direction to go in. I also started on the camera system, where you'll be able to turn into a security camera to get away from a fight and be able to choose a new body. If you have any other ideas or just feedback, let me know in the comments and consider giving my game a wishlist, because I really don't want to become homeless when I release my game. Sub to the channel, and as always, thank you for watching.